we head on over to a small family-owned farm in the Midwest and talk about our 9-ounce black Angus ribeye steaks. So this is item M80207. And this is on 5 easy payments of $23.80 for the 6 count.
Right.
And then we also have 5 easy payments of $39.80 for the 12 count. These are 9-ounce black Angus steaks. They are a very, very big size. So if you're thinking 9 ounces is just too big for me, it's too big of a steak, these are individually packaged and blast frozen as well. We'll show you that in a few minutes. So if you defrost one and cut it in half while it's still raw, that gives you 2 4.5-ounce steaks, which goes a really long way.
It does.
But Ray, I know this is one of your favorites.
It does, but if you're like me and you want to have just a great steak experience every once in a while, this is the steak for you. It's funny, Brittany, we had, you were actually sitting there with me this weekend. We had my youngest sister over the house over the weekend. And we had just gotten done doing the prime rib, actually, on QVC. We were helping my father do the prime rib airing, right? We had an item on air on Sunday with the David Show. And my sister, my youngest sister, believe it or not, had never tried a ribeye. She's like, I'm a filet eater. I only like a filet. And we said, you never had a ribeye, really? So she said, oh, no, I just, I never liked really the steak that had that amount of marbling or that amount of fat in it.
Right.
It is a fattier steak. It's not a filet mignon. It's very lean. She tried it. She was blown away. She could not believe that she waited almost 35, 36 years of her life to try this steak, right? Because it's an incredible experience when you sit down and you have this steak. And these are cooked just really to kind of a perfect medium, right? But these are 9 ounces in size. You're going to have an incredible experience. This is truly the finest steakhouse steak. I mean, you could see as lean as they are, they're still going to be incredibly flavorful. And Brittany, this is one of your favorite steaks now, so I'll let you jump in and take a bite of that.
Thank you.
It's quickly become a favorite, I know, for you. I might grab another fork because of just the flavor, right? It's packed with flavor, but it's also still very tender. It's not as tender as a tenderloin. I'm not going to tell you that. Just as tender as like a sirloin steak would be, but even that much more flavor.
So you know what I think is really interesting about the ribeye, because like your sister, a long time ago, I didn't really like ribeyes either. I thought they were too fatty, and they just weren't as lean as a filet mignon, which is true. It has way more marbling.
Right.
This is a steak that I actually like at a higher temperature. I like this one medium versus a medium rare, because I feel like that all breaks down a little bit more.
It does.
And just infuses flavor.
It really does.
The ribeye. And again, this is a very large steak. This is a 9-ounce piece. So this is something that we will split, or I'll turn it into maybe 1 or 2 of them into a dinner for 6 people.
Right.
So I'm going to show everybody how I just make a really fast stir fry when it comes to the ribeye.
Right. Oh, you already have them chopped up?
I have it chopped up and ready to go.
Amazing what our culinary team can do.
But you can do this at home too. That's how simple it is.
Cook that ribeye, chop it, whether you want to do it before or after, right? It really is that easy. Little butcher's tip by Brittany showing you that. Get your steak to room temperature. Pull it out of the freezer the night before, a few nights before. Put it in your refrigerator, let it thaw. Let it get to room temperature before you cook it. You will be amazed at the difference in the experience in which it will be that much more tender.
That was probably one of the best tips I ever received.
Right.
Because steak was not something that I cooked at home. I only ordered it out, or my dad made it on the grill.
Right.
But I certainly did not cook it. Now I make it inside all the time, just on that small tip. Let it sit, and then you can pan saute this too in a nice cast iron skillet. I
mean, look at that. Like a ribeye, a take on an Asian dish, but with ribeye meat. I mean, it's absolutely going to be an incredible experience. Usually, somebody would use things like either sirloin or what they call knuckle, which is like a lesser grade of meat.
Right.
This is a way to really kick it up a notch, right? Buy these beautiful ribeye steaks, whether you get 6 or 12 of them. First off, they're all black Angus. What does that mean to you? There's a reason all the highest steakhouses in the country, highest end steakhouse in the country, use black Angus. They know that it's going to ensure a consistent eating experience each and every time. And what I mean by consistent is great, right? It's going to be very marbled, very tender, but also packed with flavor. So whether you get the 6 or you get the 12 count, this ribeye steak is absolutely going to become a favorite if you love the steak, right? If you really love a steak, filet is great, and it's going to take on whatever you put with it. But if you want to have that great marbled steak eating experience, this is the one for you.
And Ray, this is one of those steaks that I love in the summer. I love it in the winter. It's so versatile all year. And this is a beautiful tomato
Right.
mozzarella salad that we have right now.
Yep.
Again, we live in New Jersey. We're really taking advantage of all of the beautiful produce that we have available right now. But Ray, if you could cut this one a little bit thinner for me, and we'll put it on top of the salad for everybody.
This is to cut. I mean, it just glides right through, right?
It's so tender. It's so flavorful. I mean, this looks like something that you would order in a restaurant, only not the restaurant pricing.
You're exactly right. And I want to take you over to the raw meat in a second, because I think it's really kind of helps to understand what's different about our ribeyes, or even a ribeye that you would get at a great steakhouse. Number one, it's the quality, but it's also the way in which we handle the trimming or the cutting of it, right? I'm going to take you over here, Brittany, and show you. This is a whole piece of prime rib, right? This is how a ribeye starts. It starts with a piece of meat that is about 14 to 16 pounds, right? It looks like this. And you can see how much heavy, thick fat there is on there. What we do in the butcher shop is we take all of that thick fat right off the top like this, right? Then we also take it off the bottom. And what you end up with is a piece of meat, which is the very center cut, which is like this. So it's about 50% of what we started with, right? So we've taken all of those things that you see left on the counter here, all the fat, all the bone, all the stuff you don't want to pay for that you would typically get when you go to the grocery store to buy ribeye steak. We've taken that off. Then once we have this piece of meat like this ready, we cut down those 10-ounce portions. So it's not just the fact that it's Black Angus, the fact that it's from the Midwest, from farmers that we've done business with for the last 40 years, but it's the way in which we care for it and we bring it to you as well, just like that, but also the way in which we package it to bring it to you, Brittany, to your home. Each one, this one's got a little frost on it for me in the freezer, but each one is going to come individually vacuum packaged like you see here. So this is a 9-ounce steak in this beautiful black packaging, right? We put in that black packaging because it deserves for you to understand that it is a premium experience. This is not the steak you're going to eat 6 nights a week, and maybe it will, but you know, this is like we're going to sit down for date night or for Saturday night or Friday night and have a nice, incredible experience. This is the steak for you. And Brittany, as you mentioned, they are 9 ounces, so they're going to go a long way, right?
Huge.
You just take one of those steaks and just cut it right down the center. I mean, it's absolutely a steak for two.
And that's absolutely what we do all the time.
We do it every week.
But you are also going to be receiving the steakhouse seasoning with this steak. So that's a beautiful blend of onion powder, some garlic, kosher salt, some black pepper. I'm holding up the seafood guide. There we go. You're going to get this later.
You will get that. If you buy the seafood items, you're definitely going to get the seafood guide.
But we also have the cooking guide as well for the meat. So this is not just for the ribeye. This is for all steaks and meat. There's lots of great tips throughout this book on how to get to the wonderful temperature that you want to get to, not the one you think you're getting to. It'll show you exactly how to get medium rare or medium well, whatever your preference is. There's some wonderful marinades in here, just how to get some rubs together. But there's really great tips in here. That's just overall a wonderful tool to have. Steakhouses always have that great butter that they put, either they dip the whole steak into a melted vat of seasoned butter, or they put the dollop on top. This will show you how to do that with just your butter that's in your freezer. I'm sorry, your refrigerator, with the spices that you have. So it's a really great guide. And then, of course, having that seasoning
I was just going to say, you're also going to get that great Rastelli seasoning as well. So, again, these are an incredible experience. This is a 9-ounce steak that you're seeing in front of you that I just cut in half, right? Easily, 1/2 of this steak is plenty for one, because it's 4.5 ounces if you cut it in half. But this ribeye steak, although it has a little bit more fat than a tenderloin would have in it, you're still going to eat it from one end to the other, because we've taken all that heavy fat, all the bone, all the stuff that you get when you buy a ribeye at a grocery store. We've taken all that off for you. And oh, by the way, we've delivered them to you individually packaged. So we've really made it easy for you to have a great experience for you, your spouse, your significant other, your children. You know, we're getting ready to approach the Labor Day holiday. What better way
to
have?
Already?
I know, it's crept up on us.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready.
It's been a great summer.
It has.
So that's probably why it's almost Labor Day. It's been so fast.
It has.
And having items like this available to us every single weekend with our family has made it even that much better and that much faster.
It does.
But like Ray said, this is definitely something that you would feel really special having in your freezer. And the 12 count is a $39 $39 savings.
Right.
You're getting a $39 savings from going from 6 to the 12 count. And again, that 6 and 12 count can double again if you're looking for a 4.5 ounce steak versus the 9 ounce steak.
Right.
And this is something, the individual packaging, again, huge for me because I take out exactly what I need and there is no waste whatsoever.
There's not.
I can't stop eating this because it's truly melting in my mouth. You cooked it exactly the way I like it.
That's why the ribeye is just so good, and everybody loves it, right? You've ever had a short rib, and you've ever cooked or short rib or had a short rib at a steakhouse that's been cooked for like, you know, anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 hours? The outside of the ribeye is like eating a short rib, and that's why it's my favorite steak, right? We call it the deckle or the kernel, the outside. It's by far the very best part. The whole ribeye itself is incredible, but when you get to that final part, it's like eating a piece of short rib.
Does everybody out there know how wonderful and flavorful the deckle is? Because I think on one of our first dates, I did order.
You did, and you started cutting it off.
And I cut it off. Right. And he said, "Why are you cutting that off?" I said, "I don't eat that part." And that's when I tried it for the first time, and I cannot believe that that was something that I wasn't eating.
Right.
Because I thought that the red part, so the deckle, if anybody doesn't know that.
So I'll show you right now.
Yes.
This is the ribeye. This is the ribeye.
There it is.
And the ribeye actually consists of 2 different pieces of meat. So this outside part right here is called the deckle. Some people call it the kernel. Some people call it the cap, right? This part's great as well.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to eat just like a beautiful ribeye steak should, but that deckle is like eating short rib.
Yes. What do you call it? The meat candy?
I call it the meat candy.
So again, this is item M80207. You're receiving 6 or 12 of the 9 ounce Black Angus ribeye steaks. 5 easy payments of $23.80 for the 6 count, or 5 easy payments of $39.80 for the 12 count. That is a $39 savings if you opt for the 12 count. We have auto delivery available on this item, and it has free shipping and handling as well. So if you are just tuning in and you missed